This sode would not be possible without the support of our listeners, patrons, and sponsors. If you'd like to learn more about supporting the 3-Bit Gamer Show, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/3BG. And a huge thanks goes out to our boss-level patrons, Christopher and Patrick.
2019 was a mess. A slimy, smoky, scummy, ugly mess. A putrid, rotting, steaming pile of excrement.
JD, we get it.
But at least there were some bright spots in the world of gaming. This week, we're going over some of the awesome stuff that helped us get through 2019 and its maggot-filled pus-soaked
JD! Dude.
This is Asmodan. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show.
It's the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And Aaron.
And I'm out of gross things to say.
Yeah, you're done.
I said all
you
the
are on
things.
a speaking timeout. Welcome to 2020, everybody.
Here we go.
Here
It's already shitty.
It's already been a rough week.
Oh, man.
Into 2020.
It's been a rough year so far. Let's just say that. Ugh.
Well, on a personal
2019
note,
part 2.
2020, let's see, I've already cleaned up vomit twice.
Yeah.
No, 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So, pretty good, I guess. A good start.
You know when like middle-aged women or men are like trying to fight off or stave off how old they are, so they're like, I'm turning 29th for the 6th time.
Yeah.
So this is like, it's 2019 for the second time.
Here we go again.
We're doing it again, you guys. Rewinding back to the beginning, and it's just going to be awful.
Kudos, I'm yours.
Okay, kudos is our positivity segment, because obviously we need it. We want to get off on a positive note, although this is a personal highlight episode, so hopefully
This
there's
is
a
a
lot of
positive
positivity.
episode.
Yeah, because there was a lot of dope stuff in 2019, but let's talk about some stuff that may or may not be gaming related. Does anyone have kudos?
Yeah, Aaron, why don't you kick yours off?
Yeah, so my kudos is The Watchmen. So The Watchmen came out last year, and
On
it
HBO?
was amazing.
The series?
On HBO.
Nice.
The series. So The Watchmen is a sequel-ish to the movie.
So
if
it
you
is
watch the
connected
movie.
to the film.
It is connected to the
Okay.
film, but it's more connected to the comic than it is a film.
Okay.
So it's best to read the comic, but you don't have to. If you watch the movie, you'll be caught up.
Are there
It's
any
just-
characters from the film in
I
the
can't say
actors?
anything.
Yes, actors. That's what I mean.
You can't say
Oh, okay,
anything.
okay,
So
okay.
so literally, if you say a single thing, you're
It'll
spoiling.
spoil
the-
it. Okay,
yeah.
sorry guys.
So it's but you have to know the ending of the comic versus the movie because they're different.
Right.
It'll have better context as the show goes on.
I will say really quickly,
Yes.
because I did watch the movie one time, but like forever ago,
Right.
And I barely remember it. And then I watched this series. You don't have to. It's one of those things where
No.
if you know, it's better.
Yeah.
But you don't have to know to enjoy the series.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
cool.
So there's a really good web series on YouTube that you can actually watch the motion comic. So if you don't like to read comics or you don't have the comic, you can just go on YouTube and watch it for free.
That's tight.
And it's like motion. It's kind of it's pretty sweet. But yeah, it's definitely must watch.
What I'll say about The Watchmen is that for me, it has at the first the first few episodes it has its highlights and it has its downtime where I didn't feel invested into the story after episode 1. Or maybe even after episode 2. I was entertained, but I wasn't like obsessed with it. And then things get hot, and I'm not kidding.
And then things get kicked
And
in
then
fourth gear.
The ending is one of the best endings of a TV, like a mini series, essentially, that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Is this going to have multiple seasons, or is this?
I don't
a-
think so.
So the creator David Lindelof said he has no plans for a second season.
I love that.
So
And it ends-
it is self-contained.
So good.
It's-
Like it ended, and I was like, love it. I was stoked.
Dude, after Chernobyl, all I ever want, like the only content I ever want to consume for the rest of my life, is HBO miniseries.
One season,
Yes.
Because clearly
Just
they
do it
can't.
right.
8 seasons is way too much.
Way too much.
Way too much. One season seems to just be nailed it. Band of Brothers,
Yep.
Like Chernobyl, like their one season, mini season runs are some of the best TV I've ever watched in my life.
And this is probably one of my favorite shows of all time.
What?
The ending is honestly amazing.
That is
The
so
last
dope.
2 episodes are incredible. They just do a good job. The
Yeah, well,
story's
like
great.
the more episodes you watch, it puts more context into those first few episodes that you had no idea what was going on.
Right.
But then you're like, I need to go
It's
rewatch
good-
the first
good
few
writing.
episodes.
Very good writing.
I wonder if the HBO executive that greenlit this show was disappointed that, I mean, it's out. He probably signed on because it's HBO, right? And they saw dong, like hella dong in the movie, and they're like, "This is HBO related. This fits our show." And then it just turns out to be like an awesome show. He's like, bonus.
Oh, sweet.
Bonus. I signed on for the dong, but I'm stoked to get all the Golden Globes later. Thanks.
And there is some dong. I'll say that there is.
It's
some
an
dong.
HBO series. That's the whole thing. There's dong in Chernobyl. They found a way to put like
Yeah, I don't think
30
it's
dongs in
so many-
Chernobyl.
so many
I don't know
penises.
how they do it, but they always manage to find a way. HBO finds a way.
Yeah.
I have one for a piece of technology, little piece of technology called the Roomba.
DJ Roomba.
DJ Roomba in the house. I've been asking for years, but finally I got a Roomba for Christmas.
Yes.
I have 2 huskies. I live in a 1-story home, and so it's like perfect. It's a hardwood, and I have a bunch of rugs, so it's kind of perfect
Is
for
this
a
a
Roomba.
vacuum cleaner?
Yeah,
Or-
it's a
is that
little
what that
robot.
is?
It's about the size of a large dinner plate, round, and it's about 4 inches high. And honestly, you just turn it on, it just buzzes your whole house. It learns your
drives
whole
around.
house. It learns it, like, maps the whole thing out, so it gets faster every time it does it because it knows where all my stuff is. Put away the Christmas tree. Well, put it away. I cut it down and threw it in my green can. But, yeah, I took my Christmas tree down, and then he was, like, really upset because he had to relearn that, like,
It's
part
like,
of the home.
there's a new section.
Yeah, and he was like a little slower and stuff. Dude, it is the coolest freaking thing, though. If you have been on the fence about a Roomba and you have like don't do it if you have like a 2-story home because it'll just be a pain in the
Well,
ass.
because then you have to take it up and downstairs. And,
yeah.
It's-
And
it's
you
not
have
like
to,
it's heavy.
well, you have to pull out the vacuum anyway to vacuum the stairs, and so you're like, you have a
Can't get the
vacuum
stairs
out.
with Roomba.
So-
But it won't fall down the stairs. It has a sensor. Because we have a 2-story house, we have a Roomba, and it just like once it goes to a step, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Don't go there anymore. It turns around and goes.
I'm
the
so
other way.
stoked. I named him Pumbaa.
Pumbaa,
And
the Roomba.
I'm going
Yeah,
to
that
build
makes
him a
sense.
little bat cave underneath my like my TV stand, so that when I turn him on, it just goes boop, and he just comes
starts
emerging
coming.
out, and I'm gonna like a little flap for him to come out of. It's gonna
Oh
be
my
his little
gosh.
bat cave. It's gonna be awesome.
Roomba is great.
Roomba is so cool.
I didn't think I would like it.
Same. Well, I don't know.
I was like, I don't know. My wife really wanted one, so we got one last year, so a year ago, and we are obsessed with it. It's like the only way we vacuum, unless
Yeah.
there's like something really catastrophic that happened on the floor.
Right.
Just Roomba. I tell the kids. Kids, get the Roomba ready.
Roomba ready.
They know what that means. Just
Yep.
pick up all the stuff off the
Oh,
floor.
sure.
Clear
Yeah.
it all up, and then so like my upstairs. I mean, there's a big upstairs with a lot of space, so we have to like stop it because we don't have like the. Ours is the older version.
You don't have the laser.
No.
Oh, dude, it
So
comes
I
with a
can't,
little
like-
laser
Yeah.
that like you can put at the door, like the door frame
Yeah, we
to
don't
not
have
keep
that
it from
one.
going in the house, or you can switch it so it does a radius of like 8 feet, so you could put it under your bed, for example, if you didn't want it going under your bed, and it would just reach that invisible barrier and turn around. And this thing looks like the device, like a device from a sci-fi movie. Like
Yep.
honestly, like the switch and stuff, it looks straight out of a sci-fi movie. Like
That's awesome.
a device they'd be hunting for the entire
we
film.
we don't have that one. But even then, like, I create a little barrier. Actually, I just take one of our bar stools and just flip it on its side
Right.
to create the barrier, and then just let it vacuum the room. And it does a great job. That's the other thing. It does a very good job. So
Oh yeah, it does a great job, and it's just cute. He makes all these noises, he beeps and stuff, and tells me stuff. It's the coolest thing.
Does he switch from like hardwood to
He
carpet?
goes. You'll
Okay.
hear him when he's on the. He'll be like, and then he'll hit on a rug and be like. It's, I don't know. I love my Roomba. I'm a Roomba guy.
So how much would one of these set you back?
They're enough that I had to get one for Christmas. They're like
Oh.
$400, right? $500.
Oh,
yeah.
whoa.
So the
yeah.
cheaper ones are like 200-ish. The nicer ones are like $400 or $500.
Ugh, yeah. It was.
Jeez.
That's why I kept asking for it for years because I was like, I can't afford to.
I'm
buy
not
one
just
of
going to
these.
go buy one.
I have a completely functional vacuum and 2 legs. I cannot justify buying myself a Roomba. No, I can't. And that's
But
what I
now
did
that
for 2
you have
years.
it-
I'm like, no, my legs are broken. I
Bring
need a
it back,
fucking
you
leg.
throw it away.
I get tired like doing the Roomba ready thing. I'm like, so much work.
That's what the kids are for. Kids, get it Roomba ready.
Got to teach the dogs.
And then I'll vacuum. You guys clean it up, I'll vacuum.
Peterson, do you have any kudos?
Yeah, and I've got a kudos, and we'll make it pretty quick. I'll do the second one. I had a couple I wrote on there. But as all you gamers know, the first season of The Witcher came out on Netflix. And have you guys watched it?
Yeah.
I have not watched it yet.
Oh, I loved it. It's just solid, good fun. The acting in it's actually, I really thought it was really great. Superman plays
Henry Cavill.
Geralt.
And he did a perfect job.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yep.
And he is jacked.
Well,
like I knew he was jacked.
He's always been jacked.
But
yeah.
then, like in this movie, I feel like it's just displayed all the time. Anyway, maybe I just like the silver hair thing.
I think you just like
You're a Targaryen.
into
You're a
it.
Targaryen kind of guy.
I am
the Targaryen.
Yeah, I like the Targaryen.
a Targaryen
style.
type.
Dude,
Targaryen
but
type.
you're not alone. Apparently, The Witcher 3 has 48,000 concurrent streams on
my
Steam
gosh.
or players on Steam right now. So
Yeah,
everyone
hit
watched
a-
the series and
yeah.
went back and started playing some Witcher 3.
I'll say, like, it's not a story about Geralt hunting monsters. It is like more of a political type of story, I'll say. But the action sequences in it are so good.
Oh yeah, the first episode
So good.
is one of the coolest sword fight scenes I've ever seen. Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
not kidding.
It is-
He
yeah,
fights
it's-
like a group of guys, and the whole time you're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
He does
It's
moves
so
that you've
good.
never seen in a live action.
It's so
It's
good.
pretty awesome.
That's dope.
It's a must-watch, especially if you are a gamer and all this is like kind of right up that alley. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I super enjoyed watching it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, so you can binge it like I did, and then you have to wait a year and
How
a
many
half.
episodes are there?
8?
Oh yeah, you have that. Binge.
Yeah, something like
Eight's
that.
Not
8.
long enough that
No.
you can sit on.
No, but then of course you're like, oh crap! Now I got to wait like a year and a half for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So The Witcher.
Good.
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news. I already missed Jackson.
Did we get any good Jackson chuckles on when he was on?
I have to dig through the last week's
I
episode.
don't know. I don't know if we got one like that. Though.
Not one that good. All right, so our news this week, as always, is brought to you by Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies is this cool little cookie, pretzel, and soda shop here in Midvale, Utah. And this week they have a bunch of different cookies that they usually have around. They have a semi-sweet chocolate chip, a milk chocolate chip cookie. Their standard sugar cookie is actually a coconut lime sugar cookie that they serve chilled. That's so good. And apparently, if you get it warm, Trent's wife Annie was telling me, she's like, I think it was Annie that was telling me that if you get it warm, it's just garbage. Like you have to have, because you have to let the frosting get, like thick, like on a sugar cookie. You want it to get like, and so it was so funny, just like, oh, you gotta have a freshly frosted sugar cookie. Like, what filth?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Disgusting.
Yeah, but
Make me
and
sick.
this, oh my god, but this one, and I don't know, I can't wait to get my hands on this one to wrap my lips around this cookie.
Still talking about Watchmen? What's going on?
No, Geralt.
Oh, Geralt. Oh, that's right.
It is a. He sent me a picture of it. It's a cinnamon roll cookie.
Oh, shut up.
It like literally
Oh,
looks like
yeah.
exactly as you would describe a cinnamon roll cookie. So it's vanilla cookie dough, like on the base. They roll it flat, so you've got your vanilla cookie dough rolled flat, and then you spread cinnamon roll filling on the whole thing, and you slice it into strips and roll it into individual balls. So it has a layer. So this is literally like a cookie made in the format of a
That's pretty awesome.
of a cinnamon roll,
What's
and then
on
they
top?
it's cinnamon roll icing, just pour it all over the top.
I want it.
we got to go.
I know.
Man, I've been eating
It's not
so
out.
much crap
It's not.
since
It's
Christmas.
not out till next week. So if you
What?
guys are,
Oh,
I
okay.
know if you guys are antsy, this is a little sneak preview. But yeah, so check out Crave Cookies.
Sneak peek. Were you going to mix
Sneak.
up sneak peek and sneak preview?
I think
'Cause
I
sneak
wasn't going
preview
to.
is
I
not
think
a
I
saying.
did. Sneak Preek. So that's your cookie sneak peek for the week.
Oh my gosh, it all rhymes.
It was all intentional. It always is.
If you're illiterate, everything rhymes.
All right, so let's get to some news. Let's start with some funny news.
Okay, let's do it.
Untitled Goose Game.
Yes.
If you guys are familiar, I reviewed this. This is the indie title that just came out of nowhere at the end of last year. It's on Switch, it's on everything, but you play as a very ill-tempered goose.
Just a regular goose then.
Yeah, it's a reggy goose just tormenting the shit out of this small hamlet and everyone in it. It's really funny. And I played it, I loved it. A lot of people played it and loved it, and it has officially sold 1 million copies.
So
Just
nuts.
This is like a
Bravo.
game jam game. Like, these guys are just millionaires overnight, and it's because they just made like an awesome, hilariously mean-spirited game. I think it's so funny.
Yeah, it's just a nice little indie title. It's not long, right? You can beat it pretty quickly. This is awesome. I love it when indie titles go big and mainstream like this.
Well, yeah, because it draws attention to an indie studio that's already made a tried and true product, and it's like, here's a bunch of cash. Good luck on your sophomore project, which is how it kind of was with the guys that made Super Meat Boy. Was that they were able to get a bunch of cash from making Super Meat Boy and then just like expand from there. What's his face was able to go and just make Binding of Isaac just on a whim, just on as a side project because he had the cash and he wasn't like trying to pay his bills. And I think and look how big that turned out to be. So yeah, I think giving these indie devs that have managed to make a game with a very thin staff a ton of cash is the coolest.
best.
It's the best thing ever. It's the best thing ever.
I
So
love it.
I'm so stoked to see what Goose Game guys do next because it's got to be good. Peterson, do you want to do this WWE one?
Okay, this is a story Jackson brought to our attention. And I love it. I love it so much. WWE 2K20. We've talked a lot about this game because it's so bad. In fact, it made the cover art of our last episode that we posted. 2K20 is unplayable.
Why 2K20?
In 2020?
It broke the second that 2020
No
rolled
way.
around. Yep.
Because of a Y2K-esque glitch. Essentially, people on January 1st, they said if you want to play it, just go into your system and change it back 24 hours, and then you'll be able to play again. You could not play it. They've probably fixed it. Probably not.
They said they fixed it, and they're like, dude, we fixed it. Fuck off. And this issue has been resolved. That's from 2K Support's official Twitter account. The issue has been resolved. Make sure to restart your game automatically to download the fix. And everyone's like, no, it's not solved, you arrogant fucks. It's still happening.
This should never have happened.
Oh my God.
You can't play 2K20 in 2K20.
To be fair, you couldn't play 2K20 in 2019 either.
True.
This is just like slightly
It was just
worse.
extra broken.
Dude, I can't. It's how? How does this exist?
I just love this line from Kotaku. This is just from the middle of the article. It seems the game won't work properly if it detects the year 2020. How does that even?
Hey, maybe that's
How do you even write a line of code that is like dependent on not the year, but dependent on 2019? You're like,
That doesn't make
this
any
line
sense.
of code will not work if it's not 2020. It'll break the whole fucking game. Like, I don't know who writes that down.
It was some angry developers like, I hate this project. It's gonna break as soon as it's 2020.
I don't even like wrestling.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't understand
Ugh,
code
gross.
well enough, but I'm sure the line of code they found in there was like, what the fuck was Jeremy thinking? What was he smoking that day?
Hey, will you go fix Jeremy's code? And they look at it and they're like, I don't know how.
You're gonna have to
What was he
You're
doing?
gonna have to unfire
Can
him.
we delete the game and just not have it exist anymore?
Is Jeremy a ghost?
That's
All right, another bit of news. This is pretty small, but interesting considering how prominent IGN has been in game journalism and game reviews and game criticism for the past 25 plus years. IGN is officially switching to a full 10-point scale. They have been a 100-point
100
scale ever since their foundation, as far as I can remember. And it has drawn a lot of ire and complaints and mockery because they'll give it game like 7.4. And you're like, why is that a 7.4 or like a 7.3? Just like arbitrary kind of, because it's not like on a hard grading scale. It's just kind of like throw a dart at a board and
Yep.
it feels
What's
like a
the
72,
difference?
feels
Yeah,
like a
what's
71, but they've never been able to clearly define what those are. Like it gives us accuracy. The real problem is when people pull up games that are like objectively better than the other ones, and it's like this one got a 94 and this one got a 92, and you're like, okay, one's Halo 2 and one's like Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Like justify that. You can't compare it. So I think they're getting closer at the 10-point scale. I have to say, we've talked about this before. I think a binary scale is best. I like ours a lot too, which is buy it on a sale or wait for a sale. Buy it any price or don't buy it at all. Kotaku and Polygon, I believe, have a binary like or dislike. I think that's how it should be for all online ratings. I don't care if it's Airbnb or Yelp or whatever. It should all be binary because everyone's 4-star review is different. Everyone has a different view of 3 stars. And
if you don't know the context behind the numbers, then it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right, and there's a bunch of STEM professors out there that are like, good luck getting better than a 3 on my review scale.
Yeah.
No one in this class gets better than a C. Just every fucking Yelp review starts at 2 stars, and he's like, earn your way out of that one. I have Yelp tenure, bitch. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I think it'll be interesting to see how they change how that changes their reviews, because it really forces you to sit down. I know when that was my least favorite when I was writing for G4. When I reviewed games for G4, I had to give a number out of 5. No, it was with a half-point scale, so it was 0.5, 1.5. And that was the worst part of writing the review. I hated it. Generally, I'd just turn to my editor and be like, read my review, and then you score what you think it should be. Because, I don't know, it was just so, it's even at a 5-point scale, it seemed fairly arbitrary. There were only a few times I reviewed Journey, and I was like, cut and dry, 5. I reviewed the original Forza Horizon, and I think I gave that a 5. I was like, cut and dry, that's easy. They were so good, but other than that, unless the game
it's
is
hard. So, and this is just a quick analogy. In my job, right, I do a lot of interviewing, and we do a 5-point scale with 0.5 in there, decimals,
right,
and I'm interviewing a lot of engineers, right? I'm not an engineer. I don't know what they're talking about a lot of the time. So the question will be very specific about engineering principle or something.
Sure.
And they're answering it. If I don't know, I just give them a 3.5. Because what does that even mean?
Right.
Right? It's just like this average-ish score.
Yeah.
3.5. Because 4 is really good. And 5, we even say this when we're scoring at them. We're like, nobody gets 5s.
Right.
You give someone a 5.
That's so weird. Then why have it on the scale?
Right.
I hate that. Our company has the same scale, which is a 3.5 is standard and fine. You're going to get a raise and everything. But a 4 is oh my God, what an amazing job you did. And I'm like, wait, that's the 4? Why do you even have a 4
5? You're just shitting gold and just giving it to the company.
You walked into the CEO's office and literally shit gold on the floor.
And he's like, I like you.
That's 5 material right
you
there.
Did that on the clock,
You're a 5.
so it's ours, right?
That's a 5
it's
guy.
5.
You're my 5 guy. Yeah, that's why 5 is on the scale. This is what you should all be doing. This is all we're asking.
Why can't you all just be like this?
You want a 5?
No, because if everyone is like that, then that becomes your 3.
That's 3.5. Yeah. Can you piss diamonds? I can, but it's awful.
I don't like to do it.
I hate it.
Oh, well, you're not getting a raise.
I want that 5.
I want that 5. It hurts so bad.
It's 6,000 million kidney stones. Another thing that's kind of funny on the way out on this IGN thing is I don't know if you guys ever remembered this, is that it didn't seem possible for a standard game to get below a 7. A 7 became the lowest with IGN's scores. They never had, which was silly, because if you have a 100-point scale and you're only utilizing a third of it, that's what's the point of it? Because people would see, and I think they knew that if they gave a game a 6, no one would even look at the review or buy it. So they kind of that just kind of groomed their scores a little bit higher anyway. But that's why I think a binary is a lot better, because once you get into the weeds, what is a 3.5 versus a 3.6? No one cares. If it's down there, there's no point of having that scale.
Right.
Well, especially when they get up to a perfect score 100.
Right.
You're saying there's absolutely nothing wrong with the game?
Yeah.
Seriously?
No, the last game they gave a perfect score to that actually deserved it, I would argue, would be Pokemon Blue and Red, because those games are pretty much flawless. But after that, like
They gave GTA 5 like a perfect
GTA
score,
4,
or it was
perfect
a 4
score too. Yeah. And I was just like, and GTA 4 was not a perfect game.
No.
It was a really amazing, incredible, earth-shattering game. Was it a 10 out of 10?
But
in
yeah,
my
how do
opinion?
you give something a perfect
And then you
score?
give it a 99. Like, there's no point in 99. Everyone's going to think you're being spiteful.
Yeah.
So there's so many scores
give
on
them
that
that last
scale.
point.
I know. I was going to say, like, you could probably give a reason why 60% of the scores on that 100-point scale are pointless.
Yeah.
Everything from, like, 5 down. Anyway, we could talk about review scores.
Last one, I think this is... Oh, no, there's one more. I'll talk this one.
Okay.
Video games, this was just a bit of, like, awesome news for the
General
hobby
news.
that we all love.
Yeah.
The video game industry hit $120.1 billion
With a B.
nuts.
in 2019. Fortnite, I think the story said, like, Fortnite alone was, like, 1.8 billion, which is crazy.
That is
One
crazy.
game. One game
No.
was 4.8 billion, and that was up from the previous year, up 3%. So
Whoa.
this industry it's crazy how big it is. And I think a lot of people, well, a lot of young people realize this, but a lot of the older people don't realize this, right? There's a generation where video games are still kind of like a waste
mean
of time
Nintendos?
and taboo, where Nintendos are a waste of time. But this is one of the biggest, it is the biggest entertainment industry in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. I'm so stoked. Last story, this is just under the wire, this was on Games Radar, is that Respawn is already hiring for its next project set in the Star Wars universe. Respawn Entertainment, these are the guys behind the most recent Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, that single-player Star Wars game that I'm absolutely adoring. I think the buzz, the hype, and the reception that they received, I think they just, all the managers at Respawn are like, nope, make a second one. We got to do a second one. Stamp it. Get it out the door. I mean, at this point, like, you have to do it. They did the same thing with Force Unleashed. Pumped a sequel out really quick because you have the physics. You have the engine figured out. You have all the assets in there. Everything's like kind of ready to go. You just need to build new levels, new stories, puzzles, all that stuff. But it's a lot simpler, and so it would shock me if they weren't working on a sequel already. And so we kind of have confirmation. So, and because it's such a huge title, and because this is just it's EA, so they're going to crunch the shit out of them. We might see this in 2021. I would not be surprised at all to see this announced at E3. With a bare bones trailer or something,
November 2021,
and then a November
date.
2020. Yep.
Yep.
So I could see this in holiday 2021. So
I hope
that's
it's
kinda
not,
cool.
though.
I hope it's not too.
I hope it's a
really don't.
2022.
Take your time,
or later.
guys.
Yeah.
we can wait. There's other stuff to play. Cool. Well, let's get into it. This is our 2019 personal highlights. I'm looking at the board like, what can I play that's good?
Don't play the other one, though.
I'm gonna do it.
No, I said don't.
So what's wrong with that one, Peterson?
That was not the one I was thinking.
So I think we've got a huge list here. It's actually, I think, in order. So let's just pick at random, just kind of chug through it, and I'll just cross these off the list as we get to them. So
real quick, the way we came about this is we were like, well, should we do like a 20, what was the best game of 2019? Because I think we did that for 2018. We were like,
We
our
gave a game of the
favorite
year.
game is game of the year. And we were like, you know what? We didn't play a large portion of the 2019
I didn't play Outer
releases.
Worlds. So
Because there was
how
a
the hell
lot
can
of
I contribute?
a lot of the games that came out were big games.
Yep.
Right? They're 40 hours plus, and we didn't play. I mean, I didn't play half of them. I played a lot.
And it's a way. It seems I hate looking back at the things I'd said. Like last year, I believe I said my game of the year was Far Cry 5. Not to say Far Cry 5 wasn't a great game of the year contender, and I loved it to death, and it was the best game I played that year. But then, like a month later, in like January of last year, I played God of War.
And he was like, oh,
well, yeah, this should have won. This was clearly a better game. So it just looks silly. So I think we have limited time to play all these games. We didn't play them all, so it's hard to say favorites. So we wanted to just go through highlights. And that's everything. I mean, this is just beyond games. There's other things. There's 2019...
our highlights.
As nightmarish as it was outside of games, was one of the better gaming years we've had in recent memory. And quite frankly, looking forward to 2020, I don't think 2020 is going to come close. Even with 2 new consoles coming out, I think 2019 was like an awesome gangbuster
I mean, we
year
said the
for
same
games.
thing about 2018,
I know,
but
we
I
say-
think the difference is in 2019 you saw a lot more smaller titles
Right.
getting huge.
Yep.
That they weren't these big Red Dead Redemption 2, 3, 4. Why can't I
I
think?
don't know which one we're
Two?
on now.
It's
Two.
Okay.
And then God of War 4. Like we didn't have that in
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
But we had our Goose Game, right? We had those things that were
I found
huge,
FTL.
and everyone had to play. So let's get into it.
I mean, I'm just gonna start with what's most fresh in my memory, which is a 7-year-old, 8-year-old title, little ditty called FTL, Faster
He
Than
can't
Light.
stop playing it.
I put 100 hours into it. Easy. I put 100 hours into it in the last, FTL is the reason I didn't beat Outer Worlds, is because I discovered this stupid little indie game that is, probably one of my favorite games I have played since, Age of Empires. This thing is bored into my brain like a termite and laid eggs. I am
so good.
so obsessed with that.
I hadn't played it either, and so you were talking about it, and then it went on sale, right after that for,
Yep.
It's cheap,
$3
$3
or
yeah.
something.
When it's on sale, it's $250.
So I was like, I'll get it, and
It's a no-brainer. For
I
that.
played it today
for $250.
I played it again today, and I couldn't stop. It's we've talked about this. A lot of you have bought it and played it now. If
a
you haven't yet,
roguelike.
this is a good game.
It's a roguelike where you are controlling, and it's a kind of I wouldn't say turn based, but you can pause it at any time,
Yep.
and you are just controlling a top down spaceship and maintaining all of its
Spaceship
systems.
management sim.
Yeah. So you're being attacked.
It's super basic. When you
So
put it
basic.
down, yeah.
It's so basic.
But it's very complex. That's the
it
thing.
could be
Yeah.
you could make this into a tabletop game. That's how basic
my
my game
gosh.
this is. It would totally convert into a not even that complicated tabletop game.
Aaron, let's do it.
There's kind of already a board
There's
game
gotta
out
be
there.
one.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure
There's a board
it's
game for
7 to
everything.
8 years old. Yeah, there's 20 games of this. But yeah, so FTL, discovering that old game, this is honestly, I say it all the time. This is why I love Dice of Destiny so much, is because it allows us the opportunity to discover these things, and it's just so cool. So FTL, Faster Than Light, that was one of my biggest highlights of 2019.
I'll jump into one. This one was crazy when I was looking back, thinking that this happened in 2019. Apex Legends. Apex Legends.
Wow.
So it was so
released.
early in the year.
It was
yeah.
February.
That's
maybe?
crazy.
January, February. Yeah.
They announced it and it was out. And battle royales, are huge. And I felt like battle royales had started to decline a little bit. Then Apex came out, and this was the new thing. This was the new game. Everyone was saying it's the Fortnite killer, right? Not necessarily, but it did take a big player base from Fortnite because they just executed the game well for me. So I was way into it.
It was number one on Twitch for a long time.
It
And-
came in screaming hot.
So
out
hot.
of nowhere.
And then I bounced off it.
You and everyone
way
else.
quickly because, and I think one of the issues was, we had games, PUBG and Fortnite, of course, are big ones. And then this came out, and it was really great, and then everyone got good at it. And then it was kind of that Fortnite situation where, which I was doing this the other day, fighting a guy, and he builds a mansion, and I kid you not, I saw a guy place 4 building tiles in less than a second.
Oh, it's
It's
unbelievable.
how do you do this? I can't even think that fast. Anyway, but Apex Legends started to fall prey to that. At first, when I was playing it, doing great. I was winning. I was getting kills. And I got to a point when I couldn't get any kills anymore. I couldn't even get a kill in a game. I was just getting murdered by everyone because they hadn't figured out their matchmaking system yet, which I believe they have now.
Right.
But
Too little too late,
Apex
guys.
Legends, though, but that's the thing. I love studios like this coming out. Who was this? This was
I want to say it was EA.
no. Well, it was, but it was the same guys who did Titanfall.
Respawn.
Yeah, and Respawn had they did the Star Wars game, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
same
So they
guys.
had the Star Wars game coming out, and they just out of nowhere were like, "Oh, hey, we made this game, and it's awesome." And it played well. It had some features in it
The
that
sliding stuff was sick.
ruined
Yeah.
other games for me.
The zipline thing was sick.
Yep.
It had some sick stuff, but like you said, I think the nature of these games is that 100 people in a matchmaking that is going to be really difficult, and you're going to need to take a while to figure it out. but eventually, like, you're always going to have someone in a match with 100 people that is just going to be like God tier.
Yeah.
And that's going to ruin the experience for at least half of those people that run into it.
Well, and especially now that you have teams, so you have a team of God players, and they're just wrecking people.
Because it would show their stats, too, when they killed you, and I was like,
You're like,
this person has
that's
10,000
so
kills?
See,
I've got 12.
See, and that was
And
honestly...
you've been playing for the same time.
That happens in multiplayers. I remember playing Modern Warfare 2 way back in the day, and that would happen like guys that had like 4th prestige. But it seemed even when those God tier players were in there, like you could pick a kill off of them because it was arcadey, and it was like, oh, I die, I'll run back in, and like maybe I'll just find him and knife him. But with Apex, like you get killed by that God tier player, and it's over. You have to restart all over again. Not to say like, you know, battle royale is a huge investment, but it's more of an investment than Call of Duty.
Yep.
And so if you're investing that much, less of an investment than League of Legends and Dota, though.
But I will say, I'll say this is a highlight for me because I love when they announce a game that no one's expecting. It comes in super hot. It's a well-made game. It plays well. Everything is good about it. Right? I loved that. So Apex Legends coming in so hot was an amazing thing this year.
Another one that came in screaming hot and nobody expected it. Tetris 99.
Oh my gosh! Out of
That
nowhere.
was 2019 too.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
It was about the
What
same
a year.
about the same time frame as Apex.
Yeah.
So nobody knew that was coming out. They just announced it. Was it during like one of their Nintendo
Direct or something?
or whatever it was. They're like, yeah, after this convention, you can play it and download it right now. And so I had no idea what I was getting into.
When everyone was like, a Tetris
It doesn't
Battle
make
Royale?
it doesn't make any sense.
What is this?
But it is so cool because as you're eliminating blocks and lines, you can select people to start giving your trash to and start attacking
essentially.
people. So it's kind of cool because it's nostalgia, you know, and everything else has a cool music. So that was just kind of out of left field. Nobody knew.
Out of all the battle royales I've ever played, this one's the hardest.
It's super hard. Yeah.
I never got a top 10.
Really?
It's so
after you get to top
hard.
10, like, you blink and you're dead.
Yeah, I'm
That's
not kidding.
awesome.
People are so good at Tetris.
Yeah.
Well, it's
People
just
are so good.
the blocks are coming so fast. It's just shooting down,
Right.
and so you're just holding on for dear life.
It becomes asteroids.
yeah.
And multiple people are targeting
Space
you at
invaders.
once.
Oh, it's
and
so,
you're like, I'm screwed.
it's like they know who the weak link is. And just
Dude, I don't know.
target the
People
shit out of you.
are crazy, but that I love it. You're right. Tetris 99. I played it. It's free to play on the Switch.
it's free. Yeah,
It's just good old fun, and it's a great implementation of the battle royale model into a non-shooter game.
right.
So one from me that I think I am predicting right now, I think y'all are going to start seeing a lot more buzz on it because I have started seeing a lot of buzz on various gaming subreddits that people are like, where the hell did this game come from? Is Control. I talked about this. I reviewed this earlier in the year. This was the game. It was based on, honestly, kind of a subreddit called SCP, which is Secure, Contain, Protect, which is a like role-playing subreddit, basically kind of an X-Files-y thing.
Yep.
So it was based around this shadowy government organization that monitors supernatural events. So X-Files kind of. And you go into the headquarters of this building and find a magical gun, and it's a superhero game. Like you can fly it, you can fly, you can literally one of the things that I never got over is that you can rip the fucking ground out from under your feet and throw it at people. Like just pull all the stones up and just throw them at people. It just feels like so superhero. Or you can also also pull up the ground around you and just leave it around you like a shield and then throw that shield at people. Like the abilities were myriad. The game looked incredible. It's the guys that made Alan Wake.
Oh, yeah.
And it's actually in the Alan Wake universe.
Oh, cool.
He's mentioned a lot in the game. Like you find audio files and stuff because his like the entirety of that game was one of the things they investigated in this organization.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
That's the idea because the game is so supernatural and weird that obviously raised some red flags in this government organization. Anyway, it was just really, really, really clean. No bugs, no bullshit. And one of the things that people keep saying on Reddit is, how did I not see this? Where was the marketing? There wasn't a lot of buzz or marketing about it.
They
Probably
had
because it was
ads.
a female main character,
They
and they're
had
like, who are
ads
going to
at
sell
E3.
this to?
Like they had previews at E3 and stuff.
Yeah.
But it wasn't on my radar until JD pointed it out to me after the last E3.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it and was like, this game looks dope. And I was like, what is this game?
I never know.
And so I looked and I was like, this game does look awesome.
Yeah, it was a huge. It was like one of the bigger sleepers, I'd say, of 2019.
Absolutely.
And an absolute whiff from the guys that didn't market it properly or didn't get it out there. I only discovered it because not E3, but because for X96 each month I go and look through all the games that are coming out, and I just saw it there and was like, what is this?
Control.
And then I started digging into it. But if I had literally been looking explicitly at every single game coming out that particular month, I would have never seen this game. So Control was an awesome game. Just one of my favorites from 2019.
And it's supposed to look amazing. I need to borrow it from you still, by the way.
I should have brought it tonight. Damn it.
It's supposed to look amazing, but even better if you're playing on a PC with ray tracing.
Oh.
Apparently, this game is ridiculous with ray tracing.
What's the playtime on it?
It was pretty short. It's shorter than Fallen Order, but I'll tell you that much.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't know. I put like
30?
60 hours into Fallen Order. I'd say it's 30. I'd say it's 30, 35.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's not a small game,
but
it's,
I didn't 100% it, and it is a Metroidvania, so you could easily put in 100 hours getting all the outfits, getting all the gun mods, all that stuff. You could easily put 100 hours into this game.
Okay.
Like it's pretty robust. It was Remedy Entertainment, and 505 Games is the publisher, and 505 is just a little baby publisher. They really don't do a lot of marketing.
So yeah, Control, an amazing sleeper game.
So good. I think they're gonna have. I would be shocked if we don't see a sequel to it.
The other one that, let's see, I'll bring this one up. This one I didn't have at all on my radar. In fact, I would have never played it if it wasn't for the Manning brothers.
Oh, are you talking
Skylar and
Risk
Phil.
of Rain?
Risk of Rain 2.
Oh, dog.
They were like, oh, you guys got to play this.
Playing Risk of Rain with the Mannings was so much fun.
And it's not expensive. It's never
it's like 10,
expensive.
15.
No, I think it's on sale, or maybe it was on sale.
But yeah. It's not even not on sale. It's not expensive. But this game is like a
bullet hell.
Yeah, it is a bullet
I think
hell.
it was my first bullet hell, so I'd never had that experience where there's basically
man.
so many bad guys that you have like 200 abilities and it's still barely enough to keep you alive.
And
like,
it's getting progressively worse as you go.
all the time.
You can unlock new characters and you can unlock new powers that you can get throughout the universe, right? And it's all kind of random because you can, in some ways, you can kind of pick what powers you want, but most of the time you're just getting stuff that you don't know what it is.
Yep.
And you're shooting just these insane hordes of enemies. Like when it gets to the hardest levels,
if you stop moving, if like your character stops jumping and running around for less than a second, you're dead.
you're gonna die.
Dead.
Like there's so many. And when you finally die, especially if you're on a good run, when
my
you
God.
finally die,
There's 6
it's
flame
the
dragons going through the
stupidest,
ground.
most insane amount of like boss huge bad guys around. Like that's the only way they can kill you.
Yeah.
'Cause there's so many.
Ginormous. We're talking like the biggest. Like they take up half the screen, and you're this tiny little character
running around and jumping.
It's so fun. It's such a crazy genre I'd never even considered. And then playing with 4 people was super fun.
So fun.
And, it was so good.
It
loved that
played
game.
well. The thing is, though, it was early access, but it played very well. You know, it didn't have a lot of buggy issues. You know, there was still some content to be released, but the multiplayer wasn't hard for us to get together and play.
Super smooth.
Oh,
And it's
a good
it's
game.
also very impressive. This is Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 1 was 2D. This is a 3D game. They went from 2D to 3D in a sequel, and they executed it pretty flawlessly. Like
So
we're
good.
playing an alpha without any issues.
It's still on early access, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So they're still developing it.
I
Well,
bet
technically, Fortnite is still early access.
oh, yeah, well,
That's
F those
stupid.
people. Yeah.
do they have it? Oh, it's on the Nintendo Switch.
Risk of
Risk
Rain
of Rain?
2. Dude, here's the thing. I had to put this on my highlight list because it was honestly
holy shit! It came out August 30th.
On the
I was
Switch?
just gonna say this is a great Switch game. We should play. We should get this on the Switch and play this on the
my
Switch. But it's
gosh.
$30 on the Switch.
No, I've already got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a highlight for me just because it was such a good time.
Yeah.
This was one of those games that took me by surprise. I played it so much in a short period of time, and I have no regrets about buying it, playing it, enjoyed every second of it. And those are, that's what you want in games, right? You want to just jump in and have a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fun to find a game like that. Aaron, how about you?
Let's do Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
yeah.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 was in 2009.
That's a long-awaited sequel.
So, 10 years for another one to come out. And I love those types of games because I like having a team of superheroes. You level them up, get different abilities.
Yeah.
You mix-match team members to get different synergies. And so they kind of carried it over to this one where you do an ultimate ability, and depending on who you have on your team, you do something super awesome like Iron Man shooting Captain America's shield, and it zaps everybody. So it's pretty cool. And it kind of follows a little bit on the Infinity War Endgame kind of scenario of Thanos and the Infinity Gems. So it's just fun. It's just beat 'em up. Super fun.
Sick.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
This isn't the type of game where it's like tons of thinking, tons of strategy. You're just going in and just smashing everything.
Yeah,
And
just
the
smash everything,
biggest
yeah.
kudos for this game is that it overcame the curse of the long-awaited third installment, which is
Kingdom Hearts
Kingdom
3.
Hearts 3. Sometimes you wait 10 years to get the game, and you're like, I actually didn't want this. I'm sorry.
This
I'm
is
sorry I
no-
was
no.
asking so much. This is my bad. This is on me.
I should have said anything.
I also want to talk. Ooh, here's a good one. This was a game that I got, I believe, for New Year's. I don't know. Oh no, Aaron, you got me Yokohama, right?
Probably.
Probably. Yokohama. This is from Tasty Minstrel Games, which is Aaron's company, local Utah tabletop developer, and this is Is it a Euro?
Yeah, it's a Euro.
It's like a light Euro.
Well, because it's strategy based rather than like luck or anything else.
Right,
So,
and
Euro.
it's a trading game where you have different stores, and it's made to resemble the harbor town of Imperial Japan, Yokohama. Right?
Like 18th century or 19th
Not
century,
Imperial, colonial Japan.
Colonial
sorry.
Japan, yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
where the trade was high.
When
Yeah.
they were being dominated by an empire, instead of being like, "Oh, we want to be the
We
ones."
are an empire.
Now we're going to be the ones fucking up poor people. So Yokohama was an
Is that what the
awesome-
game's about?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
fucking up poor people. What do you think capitalism is, dude?
I don't know.
You not been paying attention the last 200 years? No, Yokohama was so much fun. Even though it had a really big setup for all the boards and stuff.
Yeah.
I still Jenna and I played it a ton, even knowing it was going to be an investment of time because it was so rewarding, so deep in strategy, and it was just such a blast.
It's super competitive. You can really block people off of trying to.
Have you played with more than two people? I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
So,
god, I've only played with two, and I
4
want to play
people
with
would
four
be fun.
so bad.
Yeah,
But
you
it's hard to be
definitely need
I mean, even with all the people that we've played games with, it's hard to find two people that are you want to invest in, do you want to get down and be dirty?
It's a complicated game for somebody who's never played board games.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, so it's a little hard to find another two people that are as hardcore. But yeah, Yokohama was one of my favorite tabletop games of this year. Last year.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'll do. I would be remiss if I did not mention the Outer Worlds. This game was another game that I did not in 2018. I didn't have my eye on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people did.
And
Really?
it wasn't
Until
really.
Borderlands 3 started to fucking suck, and everyone's like, "Wait,
What do I need? I need something.
I need something to fill this
My,
hole
that
in my
itch
heart."
is not being scratched correctly.
Yeah.
This game came out and it was a breath of fresh air because I've said this every time, but it is exactly what I wanted from this genre. It feels like Fallout New Vegas with more colorful scenery.
Gameplay's super familiar.
It's very familiar. There's nothing foreign about this, right?
Yep.
And that's fine. That's what I wanted. But what they do differently and what they do better than Fallout is the side quests. In these open world RPGs, There's a million side quests, little delivery, take this to my buddy on the other side of the world or whatever. This game, so far, I haven't finished it yet. I got distracted by another game, but
FTL.
Well, FTL always is kind of
always just
FTL's the Outer Worlds killer.
FTL literally just taps you on the shoulder. I'll be playing Fallen Order and be like, "This is such a cool level. I love this." And FTL is in the back. It's just out of nowhere. My brain's like, "Yeah, but what about?" Like, I get on the spaceship
you have to
in
manage
Fallen
the
Order,
spaceship.
and I'm like, "You know what would be cool is if you could control the spaceship."
Well, the problem with FTL is, and all of these types of games, those types of games, is you're like, I'm just going to do a quick one.
I'll just do
a quick
run.
There-
Just a quick 2 hour
there's
run.
And
not
if
a
you
quick
do
run.
well, you're like 45 minutes into it,
Yep.
and then you lose, and you're like,
Fuck.
no, I am going again. Let's
Yep.
do this again. No, so Outer Worlds, the side quests on it are interesting. Like, you want to do them. You know it's not a main quest, but you still prioritize it because you're very interested in what's going to happen. They're telling the story really well. It's a funny story, but also interesting. There is no clear bad guy, good guy. Because the whole galaxy or whatever is run by a corporation, and so you're automatically like, well, F that, like, these guys suck.
Screw the man.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to side on the corporation, but when you're talking to the people and you're trying to screw the corporation, you're screwing these people that are involved as well, just regular people.
I like that.
And so you're like,
just really
like, I know
gray.
what I
Everything's
want
gray.
to do, but then people in your crew are like, well, I don't know if you should do that. Like, in the first world, you're supposed to pick which. There's the main civilization, and then there's a group of this
Is not a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
And then there's a group of kind of outcasts. People have like started their own little colony, and you're supposed to give one of that. You need to take a power converter for your ship. Very selfish, but you're supposed to pick. At one point, you're supposed to choose which group of people is going to have power, and the other group won't, and will be at the mercy of like the marauders.
Oh my god.
And
That's like Fallout 3.
You know
where-
what you
with
want?
with the nuke, right?
Yes,
That's what it
you
feels
know what
like.
you want. At the beginning, you don't come into it knowing like, oh, I'm going to give it to the outcast, not the stupid corporation. And then the people in your party are like, well, you got to think about what's that going to do for all those people, and and then you're like, oh man, I like saved it, and I was like, I don't know what decision
gotta
I
go
should
sit
make.
down
Sleep on
and
this.
think.
I just gotta go with my gut. I just gotta, and so this game does that well. The fighting, everything is good. The combat is done really well. It's just fun. It's fun. It is beautiful to look at. It's funny. The story's interesting. I haven't found anything in this game that I don't really like yet. It makes it.
That's awesome.
It's easy
I
to
like
like.
hearing that.
It's easy to like.
Yeah.
And now that I'm playing on the PC and I got off the controller, it's night and day difference for me because I can't play shooters with a controller.
It's so wild.
So the mouse and keyboard, it's perfect. It's wonderful. I die way less.
Have you found that there's any lasting consequences for your choices?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
there
that's
definitely
good.
are. But at the same time, you're kind of I'm coming at it with this mentality that I am this unknown factor in the universe that has showed up, and I'm here to like screw over the corporation as much as possible. And so I'm kind of like this destructive force. Like, I'm mean to people in the corporation. Like, if they are siding with the corporation, my dialogue options are very rude.
I love that.
And it's funny. I don't know. I'm just having a good time with
You're
it.
role-playing.
It's good for role playing.
This game is wonderful.
That's dope. Aaron, how about you?
I'm gonna do Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I love
Got it for
Pokemon
Christmas, and I
games.
haven't played it yet.
Dude, I can't believe that. Like, I haven't played it yet. so it's such a long list.
It was a good year for games, right? So, but Pokemon has always been like one of my favorite games to play. Pokemon Sword and Shield when it came out, it got kind of some flack because it didn't release all the Pokemon.
The Pokédex was limited.
Pokedex was limited. There's still a shit ton of Pokemon, man. Like, what do you want in the world?
I'm
I
okay
want
with it.
900 Pokemon. That's what.
But the good thing is it's on the Switch. they can always do updates. They can always do DLC or whatever, expansion pass or whatever, which would kind of suck. But and with Sword and Shield, they kind of did something a little bit different. There's a wild area. So you go into this area, and if you're connected to the internet, you see a bunch of other people roaming this wild area also, or you can just not be connected and you're just by yourself. But it's very much still like the other Pokemon games where it's a very almost... I mean, it's still 3D, but it almost feels like it's two-dimensional because you can only go along certain paths. But when you get to this wild area, it's completely open, and you see Pokemon roaming in the wild. There's huge Pokemon. You go into this I forget what they call it. Is it Dynamax? I forget it. What your Pokemon blow up and they turn into...
Oh, yeah. I think it's Dynamax or whatever.
Is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure.
I beat it in a week, and I haven't played it since. But
Wow.
I enjoyed every single minute.
In a week?
I think so.
Damn.
Yeah,
crazy.
just the storyline. So obviously there's a ton more to do.
Yeah.
Like there's different quests you can go on after the main story is over.
Because I just barely beat Let's Go Eevee, and that's a game. I mean, it's the same exact game as Red and Blue, so I beat it 100 times, and it took me a decent click. So it's kind of a shorter Pokemon game for a Pokemon game. Then
It's
Or
actually
were you
kind of
playing
long.
it a
I was just
ton?
playing it a ton.
He's
That's
just
the
on it
dude.
a
That's
lot.
the curse of the Switch. Is
Yeah.
you can play it in so many
Anywhere.
situations
I was
that you
playing it
wouldn't.
in bed.
Yep.
I was because
Usually bedtime
wherever.
is where the games don't follow you to bed, but on the Switch they follow you everywhere.
The one downside is that you can't have a Pokemon follow you like Eevee.
That's
Which
a little weird.
Yeah, people would have thought it would have carried over to this
Mm-hmm.
game because obviously it was released just right after,
Right.
and by the same studio. So it was kind of a downfall, it's kind of a missed opportunity, but
Nice.
they're going in the right direction.
So which one did you play, Sword or Shield?
I have Shield
Okay, so I
because
bought
everybody
Sword.
else bought Sword.
Everyone bought Sword because it's objectively cooler. You would rather have a sword than a shield. I feel like it was way too easy.
And to tell you what, fire Pokemon are still OP.
Yeah. Because what's
I'm
more
excited-
powerful than lighting something on fire?
I'm excited to play it, and I've never played a Pokemon game.
I'm very
So-
interested in your review then.
Yep, so I will play it when I'm done with Luigi's Mansion.
There you go.
Okay. Peterson, you got another one?
Oh, well, just do that one that I just mentioned. So
Okay.
I haven't played it because for Christmas we got 3 new Switch games.
Jeez.
We got Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon Sword, and Link's Awakening. I'm not going to play them all. I'm not like my kids who are like, let's download all of them. I'm going to try them all today. I can't do that. So I'm going to go one at a time. So I'm playing Luigi's Mansion 3. This game released this year. It was announced this year, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. It was announced this year.
I think so.
And
At E3?
I just it looked like a lot of fun, and I was excited to play it. I wanted to get it upon when it released, but I waited until it's a perfect Christmas present for the kids. I love it. It's not hard at all. I'm you're in this huge tower, right? And there's all these levels you have to unlock. I think I've unlocked 9 levels. And I'm maybe a third of the way up the elevator button, so I don't know if it goes all the way or what. But I'm having so much fun. I've never had a hard time with it. There was one boss where I had to look up how to beat him because I couldn't figure it out. But once I saw it, I was like, oh, this is pretty easy.
Right.
I haven't had a hard time. The puzzles are easy. The co-op is fun. It's just fun, though. You get in and you're Ghostbuster Luigi
Dope.
with your vacuum pack on your back, and you suck up everything in the world. You're walking around and you're like, I don't know, there's plants. I'm going to suck them up, and I'm going to take this picture off the wall, and I'm going to, there's pots and pans in the kitchen, all of it.
It just all
All
fits
the
in
food.
your bag?
You just suck everything up.
That's like breaking stuff in Lego games.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
mindless
Yeah.
and delightful.
Everything. You're
Yeah.
just sucking up everything because there's hidden, just like the Lego games, there's like hidden money in it, and you can use that for a limited amount of things. But the game is just fun.
Is it a
It's
$60
funny.
title? I'm like, I don't want that on my Switch now.
It is a full price title. Actually, I think you can usually get it for like $50.
Yeah.
I think I just saw it on sale today.
Okay.
But when I'm done, if you can wait when I'm done, I'll just let you.
Yeah, if you
let
have
play
the
it.
the actual Switch thing,
Yep,
yeah,
I
I'd love
do.
to play it. That sounds dope.
It's guys, it's so fun. It is a perfect game to play with the kids. The kids love it. Like I said, it's not hard, and there is co-op. So you're Luigi and someone else is playing Gooigi.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
who's the gooey version of Luigi
Right.
with the same powers, just can't touch water or you'll melt.
Because you're goo.
Like one.
As is
Goo usually melts in water.
Yeah, everyone knows that about goo. So something I entered a new world of gaming this last year was VR, because Jenna got me PlayStation VR for my birthday, which is in June, and I was just delighted because I got to try a ton of VR games. She actually took me to one of those VR arcades they have first to see if I would dig it. I played Super Hot. I played Beat Saber there, and I was like way into it. Now we have Super Hot. We have Beat Saber. We have this other shooting game. It's a wave shooter, which I would actually prefer to Super Hot. It's just like you have your shotgun, and I have the two PlayStation wands, and I cock the shotgun with one of the wands.
Oh, cool!
And then hold them like this. And if you hold, you can just shoot it like this with the shotgun with one hand. But if you hold the other one in front of it, it stabilizes it, and the shots are better. It is such. There's a shotgun, there's a crossbow or a bow and arrow, so you pull it back with. This is with the PlayStation Move, and it feels. You start to get into it. I get sucked into it. It's so dope, and you're just getting attacked by robots. They're just constantly swarming you. I don't know. And since then, I've played Trent's Oculus Quest, played around with that.
So cool.
Just VR in general was one of my highlights of 2019 because I just really liked exploring a completely different genre. And I mean, Jenna plays Beat Saber an hour a night. It's ridiculous.
Keep you in shape.
Yeah, it's so crazy, and she just that's I mean one of the things she's like I use it to motivate me to exercise because she'll
work out.
Yeah, she'll play Beat Saber and then she'll do sit ups or push ups or something so she can play another Beat Saber level or song, and then she'll and it's just motivating her to do that stuff. It's so cool, and I can't wait to see. We're hoping probably not this year because we want an Index, but I also would have to buy a new GPU. So an Index is not only $1,000; it's $1,600.
Yeah, you got to buy a nice GPU, so another $600-700.
I was so maybe in 2022 I'll have an Index by then.
Hopefully, you guys get some good bonuses this year.
Yeah, exactly. But I really want because we're not done with it. We want to keep going because it's just it's so cool.
Aaron, what you got?
Let's do Bunny Kingdom.
So I was waiting for you to do
I'm
this
so
one.
excited because I bought this for Jackson.
Oh, you did?
For Christmas.
You did?
And I didn't realize it was a huge deal. I just saw it, and it's got great reviews on BGG, and I was like, yeah, this looks dope, but it's really good.
I would never have played this if somebody did not recommend it to me that I actually trust game reviews for them.
Okay.
So this is a board game, Bunny Kingdom from Yellow. It's IELLO.
Of course it is.
And it's French. They're weird. So
they don't know how to spell words right.
I wish they would just learn how to speak American.
So in this game, it's actually made by Richard Garfield, who did Magic the Gathering.
Oh, wow.
And he also made another cool game from Yellow. I can't think of the stupid name now. King of Tokyo. That's what it is.
Which I've played that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty fun.
My kids love that one. It's simple but fun.
Yeah, you're trying to be King of Tokyo. And
big monsters.
Yeah, it's monsters fighting other monsters. So in Bunny Kingdom, it's a 10x10 grid, and you're basically just trying to get different types of resources to score, and it's just
you need resource tiles to touch each other to create your kingdom.
You're trying to build each little kingdom, and you score points depending on how many castles are in each kingdom.
Is it kind of Carcassonne-y kind of?
No. It's so you have a handful of cards. You choose 2 to play if you're playing a 3 to 4 player game, and then you pass those cards to your neighbor. So whatever cards that you don't want. Man. You're giving to your neighbor, or maybe you just have a handful of amazing cards, and you're just giving them.
And it's you have to pick one, but you're looking, you're I don't want to give him that card, but I really want this one.
Yeah, so card drafting. It's all card drafting, and it's amazing.
The kingdom building is a little bit like King Domino, but King Domino's the simple version of it.
Yeah.
The same type of thing, you need the samesies stuff to connect each other to make a kingdom.
Yeah, and so the bunnies, you're putting bunnies on this 10x10 grid. So if you have a handful of cards, one will be C7 and C8. And so obviously you want to put your bunnies next to each other, and you're building on that. It's just, I've played it so many times in a row, and there's tons of different ways to win. There's different scoring conditions.
It's got that price. I played it one time with Aaron. Absolutely loved it. It's got that. I'd say, unique ability where it is easy to learn. It's not a
Super easy
hard
to learn,
game.
yeah.
But there are so many different strategies, easy to learn, hard to master type of thing, because there's a lot of different things you can do. There's luck involved, right?
Yeah.
There's luck involved with it, which I always love. But, man, it's a good game.
Yep.
It's a very well-made game. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I played it one time with you, and I've wanted to play it again since.
What is the ideal amount? Because I gave it to Jackson, and usually it's just him and Laura, his girlfriend. But
It plays so good at 2 players.
it plays really good.
Yeah.
We played it with 4.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like, oh, man, I wish there was less people. So I thought 4 was good.
Hell yeah,
a good
that
game.
makes
Well,
me feel
because
so
it's all
great.
simultaneous play. It moves super fast.
Yep.
Right.
So with 2 players, so you have to account for different decks. So with 2 players, you actually have 2 dummy decks that you're drawing from. So you're still passing cards, but then you draw a random card from the top of a deck to add to your hand. And so you just swap hands,
going
and so
back and
there's-
forth. So
You keep adding new cards to each hand.
yeah.
So it works.
It's a good game. It is a good game. This is a good buy for Jackson.
That's dope. That makes me super happy. Dude, we should talk about this together, although I think I'm the only one that discovered it this year. Slay the Spire.
I'm so glad you did.
So you were playing it in 2017 then?
I played
or
in
2018, I'm sorry?
Yeah, I played it in 2018.
2018, I think.
Okay, so I was a little late to the boat, but I actually had played this in 2018. I just stopped after like 5 games because I was like, nope, I have to play this on the Switch. I got it on the Switch and poured like 50 hours into it, like right off the bat.
It's a good game. I would say if I had to pick, like a top 10 games of all time, this would be in my top 10.
That's crazy. I think I took to FTL like you took to this, but I did have a moment of Slay the Spire where I just could not stop climbing that spire. This is the roguelike card-based game, so it's like roguelike meets Hearthstone
Deck builder.
meets deck builder. It is so fun. It was so cool. And you just like keep basically having card battles through
Just
3
working your
different
way up
levels,
paths.
different paths and stuff where you can go to visit
Have
the
you
store.
played it, Aaron?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really similar.
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
I really dig the new character that they came out with. Well, it's the newest character that they came out with. It has little orbs. And
Yeah,
you're
the
doing-
orb one.
Yeah,
That
and
one's a lot of fun.
that.
They're
honestly,
making another one.
You know what? What's another character or another game?
Another character.
Oh,
He's
see,
adding
and
one.
my problem with Slay the Spire is what was the itch that was scratched by FTL was a lack of storyline, because FTL has all that Slay the Spire has in terms of strategy and the
That roguelike feel where you're
and
like,
the random-
another run.
and that random roll where sometimes you just get the coolest setup ever, and you're like, oh my god, I have to go back and play another one because my last setup was so dope. What can I get? It has all that feeling, but then it has this like thick layer of lore underneath it that I just absolutely adore. So Slay the Spire really got me in the mood for these roguelike types of games, and I think that's why I was like primed and ready to just fall right in love with FTL.
Yep. Slay the Spire. If you have not played it, I cannot recommend it enough. Again, one of my top 10 games of all time. And I would honestly put FTL in there because I love that genre where it's like let me try again. I can play that forever. So, amazing game. I gotta say, we talked about this at the beginning, but Untitled Goose Game, that was this year. Little indie studio, sold 1 million copies. This game came out of nowhere where you're this adorable little goose, very endearing, that just goes around and bugs people, and you have objectives to follow. So you're trying to get a certain thing or get somebody to do something.
Right.
Or you're trying to like steal the kid's glasses and then trap him in the phone booth,
Or tie his shoes together so he trips and
falls.
falls.
Like,
oh
you're
my
the
God,
worst.
You're a demon.
and it's so funny.
The funniest demon ever.
But it's not like there's not like a violent aspect to it, right? Like no one's trying to kill you. It's this little town and they're just shooing you away. Like, get out of here. And for some reason, I think I said this when I reviewed it, the ending was so good to me. I loved it. How you're like going through all of this
You're
so
such a
you can
monster.
steal
The bell from the bell
still
tower.
a bell, and then you bring it back and you put the bell into a huge pile of bells.
Other bells because you're a
And
psycho.
for me, I'm like, oh, now it makes sense. You just love these bells, and that's why everyone has like a "No Goose Allowed" sign, like "Get out of here" because you've stolen their bell.
Well, you have to. It's
50 times.
Yeah, it's like a model. It's a small model town that you completely destroy the church bell tower
and steal the bell, and
then you
have to
steal-
run back through all the levels without getting caught with the bell,
in your mouth.
and just drop it into the
is
pit. I loved it. I thought
so
it was
funny.
very endearing. It was a positive game in this like year that we said was a mess. A lot of times video games are real deep or dark or killing and shooting, and you have to kind of suspend that part of your brain that's like killing is bad because you're like, I'm going to go kill everything now. This wasn't that. This was just fun and lighthearted, and I loved
relaxing. It was just
good
relaxing.
game.
Let's
need
do
more.
one more each and then call it.
Okay.
Cool. So pick your faves.
Is it me?
Yeah, do it.
I'm going to do Mech Warriors.
Yes, that was what I wanted you to do.
Yeah, because it's. I think it's a genre like Mech Warrior and BattleTech of the same universe, but not a lot of people know about it. I think I'm like the only one of like all of my friends that even played this game. So Mech Warrior is a Mech Warrior is a person who controls a big battle mech, basically. So you're called a Mech Warrior. So you are roaming the galaxy with your ship, and you outfit 4 different types of mechs. And you just do missions. You're a mercenary. You're just doing whatever mission for whatever political group, and you're getting either salvage, just like random weapon parts, or different mech parts, or different mechs in general.
What's the gameplay?
It's a first-person shooter, basically.
Okay.
So you outfit your mech with missiles, lasers, jump jets, a bunch of other stuff, and you adjust the tonnage, so you have like a max tonnage of each mech, and there's probably about 50 different mechs, from light to assault to super heavy. So if you have like a 60-ton mech, you have 60 tons to work with for putting armor on and putting different weapons. Depending on the weapon, it'll have a different tonnage, and you have to put ammo for that different weapon, and you also have to have heat sinks to cool down your mech so it doesn't overheat and cause more damage. So when you get into a mission, it'll be like an assassination mission. You have to go to different points, controlling your big old battle mech, and you're trying to look for this specific target. And so yeah, you just keep going along. Enemies will just keep spawning.
Are you
and
playing
you're
other
shooting
people, or
No,
are you
you're
just
playing
single player?
The computer.
Okay.
So if you want to play, there's no multiplayer person to person like shooting each other. You can have up to 3 other people like with you.
It's like co-op.
You can do co-op, but the thing is, hopefully they're good, because if they're blowing off their limbs and stuff, taking a bunch of damage, then you have to repair your mechs, and that can be super expensive. But if you want to play like versus other people, it's Mech Warrior Online is where you go to do that.
So is this Mech Warrior 5 that you're playing?
Mech
then?
Warrior 5 Mercenaries.
So it's just so funny because this is a series that has been out for
A long time.
In fact, I was getting nostalgia looking through this because there was an ad for Mech Warrior 2. And I was like, oh, I
probably the
remember
90s,
that cover.
Oh my
Like,
god!
I remember playing that.
I remember seeing that on the rack in Circuit City.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mech Warrior 2. And
Wow.
so these games are just some of that good old-fashioned
It's fun, man. It's
machines shooting each other.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Dope. Peterson, what is your out the door?
I got to go with auto chess. Auto chess was that genre that came in
Super hot.
like I know it's existed. I know that, but it came in hot because they made the Dota made a version of it. Dota Underworlds.
Underwear Lords.
Dota Underwear Lords. They made a version of this, and then immediately
cool.
after their
Riot.
competitor, their direct competitor, Riot, made
We
one
can do
as
it, too.
well. And I don't know, I kind of loved it because it was just this genre that has existed, but all of a sudden came in super hot. I had a lot of fun with it. I still have Lords on my computer, and it's like the most updated game I've ever had on my Steam. It has an update almost every single day.
Seriously.
Every single day. But it's just fun. It's, again, you can just sit and play it. It's not a super active game. You just set your pieces and go and that's auto chess, right?
Is it still going in strong?
Yeah.
Is it still?
Yeah, it came in really hot, and then it slowed down a little bit. But both Riot and Dota are supporting this game, their respective games, completely. And so this is a genre that people are playing and people are having fun with.
Well, Riot has to support it because otherwise the name of the company doesn't make any sense. They have to have at least 2 games.
They have to have
Riot Game sounds dumb
Riot
as
Game.
fuck.
Well, they've got more coming out. So
Yeah.
I was thinking about this the other day. I'm kind of excited to see what their other games are. There's a good chance I won't love them.
Yep.
But I'm excited.
I want to see how sexist they can go.
Yeah.
I want to see how gross they can go.
But I don't know. They could be good. They could be fun. Who knows? They could knock it out of the park. And I'm excited for a studio. All of their personal stuff aside, their game is tested. It's proven. For all intents and purposes, it works. Right. I'm excited to see a studio that has that pedigree of that one game that they've done really well.
I'm sorry, did you say League of Legends works?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't not work.
Oh.
It's not like a glitchy, horrible game.
Oh, no.
It's just, it
No.
works.
It works.
Right?
Mechanically,
It
yes.
is what it is.
It works.
Yeah.
And so for a studio that can do that, to come in and try something else,
I actually
I'm in.
I think their auto chess is actually the better one out of the two.
And I said this when I reviewed them, my biggest complaint is that they don't hold your hand at all. And so I didn't know which characters I was picking why. And it took me forever to figure
even
it out.
the item combinations, there's so many different types of combinations, and they don't tell you.
When you don't have a lot of time to figure it out while you're doing it, you're like, wait, what
you
if I
have to have a
combine these
spreadsheet on your right monitor to play the game on your left monitor.
Yep. In classic Riot fashion.
Sounds delightful.
But it is a good game. I'll say
JD's
that.
just like, fuck this game.
I'm just out. Okay, so my biggest surprise probably of 2019, one of my favorite things was Jedi Fallen Order. I've talked about it. I'm almost done with it now. I probably have 2-3 hours left. I just have had such a good time with it. It came out of nowhere, completely out of left field.
For you.
For me, I was thinking it was going to be another hack and slash, first-person Jedi game. It not only wasn't a hack and slash, it was a Souls-like game, Metroidvania elements, and it had a really good story. I like to follow, and I'm just...
It had just enough of the Souls-like stuff. It's not for you to hate the game, but challenging enough.
Yeah, and so I'm playing on Jedi Knight, which is the medium difficulty. It's one step above the easiest. And, for example, I ran into an alpha something. It's like a bonus monster, bonus boss type of thing. And like you said, it was a good balance. It was extremely challenging, but I'm toward the end of the game, and I kind of was hoping that I could... And I beat it on my first try, and I was like, this is dope. I'm finally getting it. And that's kind of what Souls... was it kind of as you get toward the end of the game and you start to really see and figure out how these bosses play out, you kind of get better at it. So it was, and it wasn't punishing.
Dude, you'll love the ending. I'm excited to hear.
I'm
what you
stoked.
think.
I've heard it's really great.
Is this rank from the Star Wars stories this year? Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order, and Rise of Skywalker. Rank them. Which one has the best story?
I would say Jedi. I'll just say Rise of Skywalker, Jedi Fallen Order, and then Mandalorian.
In order of in that order,
first to last. Yeah, I mean it's super hard because Mandalorian really starts to get amazing. I think at the last 2 episodes.
Yes, the story does.
I
mean, the episodes are all fun.
Yeah,
it's never not fun.
But the last episode, my head just exploded.
I was like, oh, the whole time, oh my gosh!
And you're just like, yes, Dave Filoni is a wizard.
Dude, so good.
And I love that man.
Okay, well, that does it. That is our highlights of 2019. Everything that we loved. Looking back on it, we probably missed a few things because there was a lot. And I hope that we can do the same thing next year, and we have the same
We have a lot of highlights.
opinion, but I don't know.
It will have a lot of highlights.
We'll have highlights because
it'll be good.
I have a ton of games that I haven't played,
No,
like Sword and
listen.
Shield.
JD, from like
2020
a
will be 2019.
personal perspective, 2019 was a mess.
Right.
There was a lot of crazy crap going on. But from a gaming perspective, it was
so
wonderful.
good. So
2020
good.
will be just as good. And from a personal perspective, it'll be better.
Ugh.
Right, JD?
It'll be
It'll be
2019
better.
part 2 for JD.
Yeah, I buy it.
What I want to say while we're exiting this segment is I want to hear what your guys', our listeners' highlights of 2019 were, because I know there's stuff we didn't mention. We didn't even talk, a lot of the big games that came out. So, what were your highlights for 2019? What were the big things for you? We want to hear it.
Yeah, and even 8-year-old games. I want to hear it. If you
If you
found an
discovered
old ass
a new
game,
game, yeah.
oh yeah, I definitely want to hear about it.
Dice of Destiny.
All right, Dice of Destiny is this awesome little game we like to play at the end of every episode. We actually haven't updated in a minute because we got a little off track with the Blursties.
Yeah, we can't do Dice of Destiny during the Blursties.
It's a bit harder.
We need to dedicate solid episodes to the Blursties. Plus, we aired the food episode, which we had recorded months ago. So
we're a little bit behind on Dice of Destiny, but what we do is we roll a 20-sided dice, and it has 20 different game genres assigned to it, and then we roll a 6-sided dice to see how much money we can spend on it, and finally we roll another 6-sided dice to see who's going to pick a game in that genre for that price, and play it and review it. And so Peterson recently rolled a mobile game for whatever.
I think it was $60.
$60
so it's like
bucks.
80
So
mobile
he spent
games.
$60 on a mobile game, microcurrency. What did you pick?
So I picked a couple different games. I picked a game called Hoplite and a game called Rogue Adventure. And then I did tease this, if you remember, saying that I might pick another one as well. So I did download another game called Meteor Fall.
Oh, tight.
So I'll go through these. This will be pretty quick. Hoplite is a turn-based game. It's very simple, and I'll show JD what it looks like. This is what it looks like. It's a turn-based grid.
Okay,
the
dig that.
graphics are nothing crazy, but you are like a centurion who you've got like different abilities where you have a spear and you have a sword and you have a shield, and there's these goblin enemies that you're fighting. So and there's certain abilities you can do. So if there's like a guy that's one square away from you, like one square between you, and you have your spear, because you can throw your spear as well.
Sure.
But you have to go pick it up. If he's one square away from you and you have your spear, if you go into that square between you, it's like you're lunging at him and you'll
Right.
kill him. You can throw your spear. If you're next to a guy and then you move next to him in another, like, because they're, what are the 6-sided ones called? Hexagon. They're hexes. And if you go to a hex space that's next to him when you're next to him already, just go to a different one. You'll attack them with your sword. You can jump at them and all sorts of stuff. But and each level you do, you pick up a new ability. Or you can get more health or something like that. It's very simple, but it's hard. I've only gotten to maybe level 14.
Really?
The first few levels you just blow through.
Right.
Like it's very easy. You never get hurt. But then it starts to get hard because all these ranged guys are in there, and you're like, I can't move anywhere without getting shot. And it's really fun. Out of all the 3 games that I downloaded, this is the one I liked the most. My biggest complaint is that, it's pretty. It starts easy and then gets so hard really quickly. But the free version of it is like 10 levels, and you can beat it in like, I don't know, 8 minutes.
And you might as well.
And so you can buy it for, I think, $2, and then it unlocks all these levels and abilities and all that stuff. So I did, and that's my only complaint. But it's the one I've played the most.
And what's it called again?
It's called Hoplite.
And Hoplite is a buy at any price because it's $2, or check it out.
At
for
least
free?
at least download the free version, play it, and see if you're interested.
LITE or LIG?
HOPLITE, one word.
Of course.
Because I think that's an actual word for like a Roman thing.
Right.
Look, okay, the other one was Rogue Adventure, and this is a Slay the Spire like game where you are moving up a path, collecting cards. It's pretty good. I'll say it's pretty good. There's a lot of different classes, but you have to unlock them as you go.
Okay.
I've only unlocked a couple classes. The cards are pretty good. I will say it's a mediocre game. It's not amazing. It's just mediocre, but it's free.
Right.
It's free. I haven't come across any microtransaction issues on it. So if you like that Slay the Spire type, you can definitely pick this one up, and it'll scratch that itch when you're like at work or something.
And what's it called again?
It's called Rogue Adventure.
Rogue Adventure.
But the better version of that game, so I only kind of liked it, and I wanted a better one, and so I downloaded this game called Meteor Fall, which is a paid game. I think it was $4 or $5. It's by a company called Slothworks. The graphics look like the same type of characters. It looks like, oh gosh, it's a comedy. It's a Cartoon Network show. I can't remember what it's called, Adventure Island or something like that. That's what the graphics look exactly like. But it's a card based game where you are going through, and it's the same type of thing. You pick your path. You can pick to fight a guy,
right?
But there's different aspects to it. You get bonuses for killing guys, or you can just skip a turn and like get back like mana essentially by skipping your turn, which every card costs you mana, and so you just have a pool and you can play as many as you have, but it doesn't auto refill. You need to kind of refill it on your own by skipping your turns. This game is definitely deeper than the last one.
Right.
There's a lot more to it. The cards are a little better. It's funnier. It's more fun. So if you're willing to throw in $4 or $5 to play a Slay the Spire like game, and I'll say neither of them are as good as Slay the Spire.
Anything could be. Like anything could be.
Right, and they're mimicking that gameplay, but they're not as good. So Meteor Fall is that one. Yeah, that's the one that costs money, but it's worth playing, and you can play it a lot. I mean, I've played, and you can unlock cards, unlock characters. You can unlock skins for your characters just for fun, just by like using currency in the game that you earn. And so that one's called Meteor Fall. That one is it is paid, so I'll say jump in if you're interested in that type of game. I wouldn't necessarily buy it at any price for like everyone.
Right.
If you are really needing to scratch that itch, then this is a good game for that.
Dope.
But Hoplite, you should download it and try it just because it's free. And I promise you'll like it and you'll play more than you think you will.
Okay. Then that means we have a reroll, and you're rolling, Peterson.
Here we go. You got the genres up?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, got my 20-sided die. Here we go.
What
10.
A 10 is a MOBA.
A MOBA? Oh, my gosh.
The last time we had a MOBA, it was a game I played for less than 2 hours. It literally could not play it anymore and gave it a never buy this game.
What was it? You remember?
Escape the Omnicrom. Omnicromonometer. Fucking bullshit. It was the worst fucking game I've ever played. I was so mad.
This is going to be
so
amazing.
I really don't want to get this. All right, roll
Good
to
luck.
see price.
Who's the idiot who has to play this one?
I know, seriously.
Okay, so the price, we roll 6-sided die, times it by 10, so $50. I think
I want a
MOBAs are all
$50
free anyway.
It all, yeah.
Yeah.
Free with
Free
microtransactions.
premium MOBA.
A premium MOBA, $50
Yes.
MOBA.
Yes.
Ugh.
It's
Yikes.
$19.99 all over again.
Okay, so let's see. JD, 1, 2. I'll be 3, 4. Aaron, you in?
5, 6.
5, 6. Okay, here we go, boys. Here I go. I got to play a MOBA.
Peterson on the MOBA.
It was teetering on that 5. I'm so
Aaron
glad.
was like, no. I thought I felt a breeze. Were you blowing on it a little bit? It's because the die I'm using is a round die. I think Aaron was blowing on it.
All right, guys. Well, that does it for us this week and this year. Thank you so much for sticking with us for our 3rd year of doing this nonsense.
Amazing.
Can't wait to keep it going all through 2020. Hey, and if you guys haven't voted yet, we are still voting is still open for the Blursties. That is the Blurst, the worst of 2019. If you guys want to get in your opinions, we've made all those nominations. So make sure to go on to 3bitgamershow.com/Blursties and get your vote in. We've also got them posted on Twitter, and we'll repost them on Facebook too if you just can't be bothered. And guys, we're doing a listener questions episode next week.
At least in a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks. We'll be doing it soon. So if you guys have any listener questions for us, hit us up. We're on Discord, Twitter, Facebook. You can send us an email at the3bitgamershow@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, 3bitgamershow.com, click that green button, and leave us a voicemail, and we will play your voicemail on air and address it. So, Blursties, listener questions. And to play us out, we have the OST from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty tight. This is like the main theme. All right, guys, that does it for us this week. I'm JD logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
This is Aaron rolling out.
Peterson Productions. Oh, yeah.